Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at ChicnScratch. This is what we're making today. And this is a Valentine box. It's got some candy inside there. Further along in the video, I'll show you some other candy that will fit in here. Okay, so here are our supplies. We've got real red cardstock that measures 11 by 3 1/4, and then another piece that measures 5 by 3 3/8. We've got some Whisper White for our stamping here, and then the Designer Series paper, it measures 4 1/2 by 3, okay? So we'll start with the box. I'm going to take the 11 by 3 1/4 sheet, place it on the long side, the landscape side, and I'm going to score it at 4 3/4 and 6 1/4. Then I'm going to take this 5 by 3 3/8 and I'm going to score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Okay, so let's fold this one on all the score lines. We're going to use our bone folder to burnish it. And we'll do the same thing for this one. Okay, so let's take the detailed trio punch and we're going to round the corners on both sides. While we have this out, let's go ahead and round the top of our Designer Series paper. Okay, we'll set these aside now and let's assemble this box. So I'm going to cut on the score line on all 4 corners. And then I'm going to trim each of those tabs just with my scissors. Same thing on this side. We're going to add our adhesive to these 4 tabs and then assemble this box. I'm going to take my liquid glue today. Oops, I almost got too much. I may have got too much, but if I did, we'll fix it. Okay, so bring that up. And then over here on this side, we'll do that one. Hold it for a second, or a couple seconds, I should say. And then here, yeah, I knew I got too much on that one. Okay, hold that for a second. That part's done, so we'll set that aside and let that dry now. Okay, so now we want to cut out the handles for our little box here. So what I'm going to do is cut out the Designer Series paper, and then I'm going to place the paper on the front, cut that out again, and then we'll use that piece that we cut out to get the back side. And you'll see what I mean in just a second, okay? Okay, so like I said, I'm going to add or cut the top, and I want to make sure it's centered across, and that looks pretty good. Let's move this out of the way for just a second, and we are going to add the paper right to the front. So I'm just going to turn this over and add my liquid glue. Hopefully I didn't just hit the camera. I hit the light, I know. Okay, now we're ready to put this back on the big shot and cut that out again, okay? Okay, same thing. Just gonna line this up And if it doesn't hold, you can always use a piece of washi tape or that purple tape and hold it down. And look, it slid. So I'm just going to take a piece of washi tape and hold this framelit in place so it don't shift. Okay, peel the washi tape up gently. Now we're going to take this piece, and what we want to do, hopefully you can, let me move this out of the way so that you can see, is we're going to line this up. And look, I cut that crooked. That's okay, because all of them are cut crooked, so it's going to be fine. And then we're going to glue this down right there, and then we're going to put this back on the big shot. So let me show you what I'm just going to add a little drop of snail, okay, a smidge. And then I'm going to place this crookedly, just like I cut this one out. Now we're going to place our die over that and cut the hole on the back side, okay? We're going to reuse our washi tape. Okay. I just want to make sure it's straight and not straight, because I didn't cut it straight the first time, but as long as you're consistent. Okay, now peel that up gently so that you don't rip anything. And be careful to not throw away your die, because you might look at this and think, oh, that's a scrap piece of paper. It's not. It's your die in there. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this up, and they're both crooked because we lined them up. This is going to go inside here. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to add my liquid glue to the bottom. Back in the old days, I used to use the tear and tape on the bottom, and then it was sometimes a nightmare trying to get it to line up without messing up. So now that I use the liquid glue, it's a little more forgiving, and you can move it around before it dries completely. Okay, so let me show you the candies that will fit in here. So we've got some little nerds that'll fit in there. You can stand them up, put them side by side. Some Smarties will fit in there. See? And then Laffy Taffy, of course, will fit in there. My husband's been eating these. And you can put a whole bunch of Hershey Kisses. I don't have many of those left here in my office after the holidays. Okay, so let's add our ribbon. I'm using the Real Red Cotton ribbon. This is actually from the, I want to make sure my ribbon's not twisted. This is from the annual catalog, okay? This is not the ribbon in the mini catalog. Okay, we're going to fix the ribbon in just a minute, but we're going to first go ahead and get it off the spool. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten this up a bit, give it some little poofy ends. It's a little cattywampus, and as you can see, same difference. Okay, so now we're ready to add our doilies. So we're going to add one of each color, and I'm adding both of them just with some liquid glue. Yeah. This one's going to go up here. And then we're going to add this one further down here. It doesn't really matter where you put these. They're going to look good no matter where you put them. Okay, so let's stamp. And the stamp set is Heartfelt. It's the Heartfelt bundle, so it comes with the 2 punches. We're using Real Red ink. Okay, so this image here, the one that says Happy Valentine's Day, I'm going to stamp that in real red, and I'm only going to apply ink to it once. Like normally I go tap, tap, tap. Because this image is solid, I don't want to do that because I don't want to get too much ink on it, okay? My ink pad is super wet, and I don't want to mess up my image. Even though saying that, I might have. Okay. That will dry, and we're going to do the same thing to this image. Oh, look, I have a magnet on the back. Okay, so stamp this. Hold it there for a second. Okay. We're going to cut this one out with the regular heart punch. Like I said, these both come in a combo pack. And then I'm going to cut this one out with the scallop heart punch. Now you could stamp this layer in the Flirty Flamingo if you wanted to. I'm more of a monochromatic person. You guys already know that. So yeah, I decided to just keep it red and just add just a small touch of Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so this heart I'm going to add with liquid glue to this image. You can pop it up if you want. I decided I did not want to pop up this layer. I want to pop up this one, okay? So there's that. And we're just going to add it right to the front. Okay, so one more tip before we add our embellishments is I squeeze in the sides just a tad. So all you have to do is just pick it up and then just give it a little squeeze, and you can see the little sides fold in like that. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Okay, so now let's add our embellishment. I'm going to take 3 of these From My Heart faceted gems, I believe is the name of them. So I'm going to take my tip of the Take Your Pick tool to pick up a couple of these, and then I'm going to use my silicone mat to add some glue. So here's my mat. Just going to put a little bit of glue, liquid glue, and then I'm going to pick up the faceted gem that I want. Okay, so there's the first one. Let me get my Take Your Pick tool. So then I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back and then place it up here. And I have fuzz on my Take Your Pick tool. There we go. Okay. There's that one. Now I'm going to get another one. So I am storing my embellishments in this container now because we are moving and I'm going to have a smaller crafting space than what I currently have. And so I am trying to consolidate things so that I don't have so many containers, because I've had the luxury of having the whole basement, and now I'm going to a bedroom. So okay, there we go. Now put this here. I'm using a needle to hold my extra tip. Okay, so here's my original, and here's the one we just made. I can see that the one we just made, I think I dropped the image down a tad, and it's a little bit crooked. It kind of veers to the right. This is more in the middle, but they're still both cute, right? Okay, don't forget there's a free PDF over on my website and a diagram of how to cut this box and where to place your adhesive. Have a great day. Bye.